Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And to the other Akim out here pushing this truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. We almost out of here, man. And I'm going to entitle this lesson, A Kingdom Divided. I repeat, a kingdom divided. Because when we go into the scriptures, Yahweh Shai clearly states that a kingdom divided cannot stand. A kingdom divided is doomed to fall. All right? Now, the kingdom that we're living in and living under right now is Esau Edom's kingdom, the devil's kingdom. All right? And it's divided. This place is more divided now than it has ever been. If you bring up one topic around a group of Americans and ask one question, if you have 10 of them in a room, you're going to get 8 different answers. All right? And Americans are some of the most proud people. They are the proudest people on the face of the earth. And they're the most well-armed and most well-equipped. All right? And growing up in America, you get this sense of entitlement, as if your thoughts and the things that you think about and the way that you want things to operate, Americans are delusional enough to believe that the things that they think, applying it to the world, they think it actually means something. All right? They believe if they feel like the government is doing something wrong, they should stand up and do something. And those days are coming. They're coming. All right. The way that the government was set up is you're supposed to have a ballot of names. You go vote, and if the person you voted for didn't do what he was supposed to do, oh well. Well, we come into a time where normal citizens, and at the end of the day, they're definitely radical, you know, but they're standing up to the government. I guess they're in that "don't tread on me" spirit. You got these Edomites, the Proud Boys, all of these different blue-blooded American groups that don't agree with the ways of the government, and they're ultimately going to do something. And that division spirit that's up on the earth, the Lord did that. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. This is Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. All right, and that sword represents division. The mother is going to believe one thing. The daughter is going to believe another thing. The father is going to believe one thing. The son is going to believe another thing. And when you people come together for your Christmases, your 4th of Julys, your so-called high holy days, your holidays, you can't talk religion. You can't talk politics. You can't talk finances without getting into an argument. That's not the way that a power structure is supposed to be. Not a thriving one. Not a thriving one. And the Lord has shown us week in and week out, day in and day out, that this place is waxing worse and worse and worse and worse. All right? And a lot of governmental secrets are coming out. Like the dude Snowden gave up. A lot of entertainment secrets are coming out. And these people were insiders. Insiders are showing the outsiders the way that this beast really runs, the way that this clock really ticks. And when the voters, the citizens see these things, they're in that "don't tread on me" spirit. They're in the spirit of their forefathers when their forefathers was trying to separate and free themselves from the Brits. They want to revamp the whole thing. They want to overthrow the government. And that's the reason that Americans are so armed, because the Constitution states that a tyrannical government needs to be met with force. And don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. They have their guns just in case the government becomes tyrannical and they can stand up for themselves. Okay? Let me get another scripture real quick, going into how they're going to ultimately tell on one another and expose one another's secrets, expose government secrets, expose secrets that these entertainers and these singers do behind closed door, expose these predatory banking practices, expose the real estate market, just expose the whole goddamn world, man. All right. And not just that, even on the upper echelon, when you get into the elites, they're going to be telling on one another. These things like with Jeffrey Epstein. You know how many people was in bed with Jeffrey Epstein, man? You know how many government officials? You know how many foreign dignitaries? You know how many entertainers? You know how many money market people? Yeah. All right. And this is Psalms 64:8. So that they may make their so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All right. All that see them shall flee away. And so when the Americans really understand how America is run and the practices that they practice, the citizens are going to become irate. The other nations are going to hate the whore. All right. And they're going to make war with her. You're going to have people taken to the streets with automatic weaponry, with fully automatic weaponry, semi-automatic weaponry, revolvers, shotguns, BB guns, air rifles, hooks, knives, daggers, makeshift weapons. And they're all going to go out there and try to make this place better themselves. And when you aggravate the fact that you're going to aggravate that because a famine is coming up on this place as well, lack of water, homegrown terrorist attacks, like they're doing on those to those power plants. And the people are going to point their finger at the government because they're going to realize that the government has been lying. The Christian church has been lying. Allah has been lying. Buddha has been lying. The Senate has been lying. The Congress has been lying. The president has been lying. And when they find these things out and the Lord hits this place with multiple judgments, they're not going to look to the Lord in the beginning. They're going to look at their government and they're going to be like, you let us down. You set us up. You're the reason that this happened. And they're going to take to the streets and they're going to attack their local governments. They're going to try to take over their local streets wherever they are, whether it's a small city, whether it's a big city. And for the most part, the rural area, you may not see that at all because these people have different mind frames and a lot of them not even really connected to what's going on. Okay. The cities are going to be very, very, very dangerous, man. No lights, no power, no food, no water, but you have guns and you have a plethora of ammunition, man. Right? And to be honest, this place was really set up to fall. We know through the spirit it was set up to fall because it was prophesied. But even in the natural, it was set up to fall. The way that you have the Democrats, the Republicans, the Libertarians, all these different sects, all these different types of government ruling styles under one government, and you can elect these guys and you can elect these guys, and they come under the same building trying to come to a common term. And just because they come to an agreement doesn't mean either side agrees to that agreement. It's just that by them having to take into account and through the bipartisanship, that's what they like to use, they settle. The far right doesn't get exactly what they want. The left don't get exactly what they want. They meet somewhere in the middle. And you end up with a tainted product. You end up with an unpure product. You end up with laws that either side really don't agree with, but they can stomach it. They can tolerate it. Right? And that's off as hell. 144,000 led by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to be one body. It's going to be one mind. It's going to be one governmental system. If a certain law is broken and you bring one brother up and he judges that, if you was to bring another brother up, he's going to judge it the same way. Yahweh Shai is going to judge it the same way. The way that we live, our laws, statutes, and commandments, we are all in agreement with these things. And that's why the next kingdom to come is never going to fail. It's never going to fold. It's never going to falter. It's going to flourish because we're of one mind. We're of one accord. We're of one heart, man. All right? One brother might be the arm, the other brother might be the leg, but we're moving in unison. Esau, Edom, he's doing the exact total opposite. And to be honest, man, when you look into prophecy, Esau is going to destroy Esau. America is going to be destroyed by Putin, by Russia, by the Russians, the Medes. You see? Those are Edomites. You're going to take each other out, man. You're going to take each other out. But before that happens, Americans are going to take each other out. Like I said, you can't even have a goddamn holiday dinner with your biological family. I'm talking about you Americans. And Jake, you included with that too, because you're American. You're more American than the goddamn Edomites. You can't even talk about serious adult matters. You can't talk about religion. You can't talk about politics. You can't talk about current events. You can't talk about finance. Only thing that is left for you to do to talk about is entertainment. Grown as hell. Because you don't want to step on one another's toes. Well, toes are going to be stepped on, man. Toes are going to be stepped on. Fathers are going to be separated from sons and vice versa. And they're ultimately going to catch the streets. Watch this. This is 2 Ezra 6:24, and this will happen. At that time, it's talking about the end, after the Lord has shown the tokens to the world, and the Lord has shown that he pulled up. Shall friends fight one against another like enemies? Friends. People that were once at peace. And the reason that they're going to fight one another is because of different trains of thought, different thought patterns, different religious beliefs, different political beliefs, just different beliefs. On top of the fact you're going to have a plethora of other judgments coming down, and scarcity is going to factor into those fights as well. You're going to have food wars. You know what I mean? So understand, this kingdom is free falling right now, but the people can't see it because it's being artificially held up. It's being artificially held up. You got police stations all around the country, and they don't agree with their counterparts. Goddamn LAPD is down the middle. You got the black officers and the white officers, the so-called Mexican officers, and they all have different policing practices. They can't work together. So when all hell breaks loose up on this place, and they supposed to come together to quell this thing, it's not going to work. First off, they're going to be outnumbered. Second off, they're not of one mind. Third off, they don't like each other because this place is divided, man. Because it's divided. Okay? Understand the times we live in there. Understand them. All right. And this going back into the Republicans and the Democrats. I don't know if I read this yet. I don't think I read it. This is Psalm 73:18. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. So this whole government was set up to fall. This whole government was set up to slip. This whole government just needed enough time to go by to where these variances and these differences boiled over. It's boiling over right now. It's boiling over. People can only be cordial so long before shit hits the fan, and shit is on the verge of hitting that fan, and it's gonna spread everywhere. You're gonna get shit all over you if you're not covered, man. And you people are gonna do it to one another. You so-called Christians, man, you so high and mighty, and you like to judge, and you like to pretend like you're this and that. You're gonna be one of the worst ones. When you go on 3 days without eating, you're gonna lose your mind. You're going to look at your children. You're going to look at your neighbor, and your neighbor going to start looking like a meal, man. You're going to go over there and you're going to spoil him because that's what the scriptures say. And over the years, you stop liking him anyway because of the sword that the Lord has brought upon this place, man. And when I say that sword, talking about that division, that variance, the Lord knows what he's doing. The Lord planned this, man. Everything that we're experiencing, everything that we're going through was planned. It was planned. It's laid out. Everybody is set up, the righteous and the wicked. And everybody's going to get what they deserve. Okay? Some of you are going to destroy one another. Some of you are going to be destroyed by nuclear weaponry. Some of you are going to be destroyed by the Lord. But it's all planned out. It's all been, everybody is basically set up, man. With that, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out there pushing his truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim, call me Asherala. Abab.